Hello the internet, my name's Laura, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something that I know all of you have been waiting for forever. It's my plant tour. That's right. I have been trying to figure out when I was going to do this plant tour. I was thinking about perhaps doing it after I had put my plants outside for the spring. And then that seemed like a bad idea because it'll be right after a transition. Some of them might not take it super well, so it might just be a better idea for me to go ahead and show them to you before I put them outside. I've decided that that's a better idea. Plus, I just kind of want to do it, so. So if you're interested in seeing my entire collection of plants, stick around. Okay, so we are going to start over here. Unfortunately, with one of my sadder looking plants, this is the Cordyline that I got on discount from Lowe's. It's actually one of the first plants that I ever bought, and it was in one of the first videos I ever put out, and it did really great for a really long time, and then something about it coming inside, at one point it just started crisping. And it hasn't really stopped. I cut off all of the branches that were like all crispy, and then the rest of them, or the leaves that had gotten crispy, and now all the rest of them have done that same thing. And I don't know if it's because of too little humidity, though I've been keeping, my humidity's been around 50 for a while now. So this guy is going to be one of the first ones to go outside, and I'm going to hope that, you know, fresh air will really help him out. But anyway, we're starting off with one of the worst plants, and I hope I can save him, but if I don't, then I guess it is what it is. So, alright, we're going to move on from that. The rest of this will be much more cheery. This is my Begonia Macculata, Whitey Eye, that I got from Wegmans in Richmond. It was the trending tropicals thing, and it was a little rough when I got it. It took some shipping damage. I had to cut off part of the leaves, but I have since then gotten one, oh, can't really see that one in the light, but 2 new leaves. So it seems to be doing pretty well. It has some spots on it from leftover, but there's been no new spots or no new drying out since then, and so I'm pretty sure that it's doing good. Of course, somebody is, anyway, you can hear that, it's fine. It's been doing good, it's been growing, it's got a bunch of new growth points on it, and I'm hoping that at a certain point it will, like, really start taking off, and that will probably happen in the spring, so that'll be great. Okay, we're going to go all the way up here to the very, very top to my Philodendron Micans, which has been showing some growth. I guess I'm going to bring it down here so I can see it. But it's been showing some new growth, not a ton. But see, you can see right there where it's got some new growth kind of coming out of it. And it looks pretty healthy. I'm just kind of figuring out how to water it, and I'm not sure like if the leaves are supposed to be turned, like this one under here, I can't imagine that's from getting too much light, but it's like kind of turned red. I don't know if that's from too much light or not enough light. But it's still doing well, it's still growing. And the other plant that's all the way up here is my Philodendron Brazil, which has been growing like gangbusters for quite a while. Oh, is that leaf like all white? Interesting. Huh, okay, cool. I thought it just hadn't gotten its color on it yet, but it seems to be mostly white. But yeah, it has been putting out a lot of new growth. Like all over the place. I'm super happy with it, and it seems to be super happy with me, so that is always great. Alright. Now we're coming down in here. Back here you can see my Philodendron Prince of Orange, which is working on putting out a new leaf right there. I have this Firestorm sedum that I started growing at one point and kind of left it to die, and it didn't. So it got a new pot, and it's just kind of been growing. I've just kind of been letting it grow wherever it wants to. I think it might even have some mealybugs on it, but they're not spreading to anything else. I'm not super worried about it right now. Then I have my adenium that I got from mail order, where the one bloom is really starting to open up. And it has a little bit, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. Let me do this without knocking it over. All right, focus. There's a little bit of growth on the end of this one branch here. There isn't any on any other branch as far as I can tell. I'm hoping that there will be more than just that. And at least if some growth comes out there, you know, I'll be able to, you know, have this plant survive, I guess. We have my Queen of the Night. This one is the one that I've been growing. It just recently put up this new stalk. So, but it's got a decent number of leaves on it. And it's been doing pretty well in this new pot. I've actually figured out how to water it now, so it's much, much happier. It's getting a little leggy, but that's just what these guys do. I have my bear's paw back here, which is absolutely huge. It was just one of those tiny little pots that you get at Lowe's, like the little, 4-inch, whatever, when I first got it. And it just kind of kept growing. And, eventually I moved it into this bigger pot, and it's just been super happy. And I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing. I'm just going to let it keep growing. And in the front here, we have my Philodendron Silver Sword, which is currently putting out a new leaf as well. I'm super excited to see that one. These leaves are really, really gorgeous, but most of them were a little bit damaged, which is, fine. I knew that when I was getting it. But I'm looking forward to this new leaf coming out and being, as perfect as possible. It's coming out rather slowly, but I'm okay with that as long as it, comes out. And then you might have been seeing in the background, I have this Wandering Dude. I knew the name of it. Got something caught in my throat, not coronavirus. But this guy, I got it as that little pot, and it's been growing a lot ever since. I'm kind of want to get it into a hanging pot because, as you can see, it's kind of all over the place now. It's taking up a lot of space. So once I get it outside, I'm going to try and give him a new pot that can hang. And I have I think it's a tricolor agave. It's an agave of some kind. I got it last year, found it at Lowe's, and it has gotten far, far bigger. I think when I got it, it had a couple of leaves, and a bunch of them were damaged, so I cut them off, and then all of these leaves in the center here, all of these have grown in since then. And this thing, I have to be very careful because it's super sharp. If you guys have ever had agaves, all of these spines are very, very sharp. And I have cut myself on them. I have cut leaves of other plants on them, moving them around. But I just love how beautiful that plant is. And I can't wait to get it outside because it's definitely stretching toward the light in here. And outside, it was all flat and looked really, really nice. Over here I have my little Kalanchoe. I got this. It was in one of those arrangements that I got that was on the clearance rack, and I thought it was going to die, and it has been growing actually pretty well. So at some point I'm probably going to repot it, make it a little less leggy. I thought that this leaf is really kind of cute because it curled over at one point and then righted itself, so it's left a little curl in the leaf that I just think is cute. And then back here we have my Peperomia graveolens. This is the one that I cut to do all the little propagations. And I had cut it here, you can see that, and then cut it down here. And, looks like we've got a little bit of mealybug going on there, just a bit. There and there, and so it's doing pretty well. I want to get it staked up a little bit better. Right now, as you can see, I've got this pencil kind of holding it up, and that's only doing so well, so. All right, so that is the top shelf, our little overview of the top shelf. Okay, and then down here we have my little warty, which I picked up at a Lowe's on kind of a sad day, but I just love this guy so much. He's actually grown a decent amount since I got him. I'm pretty sure that these guys are all new, all these in here. This is my Euphorbia purposum. I got this online, and it has been doing really, really well here. I've mostly been ignoring it, but it has definitely rooted in there. I had some problems with these guys. They came in perfectly well rooted from the company that I bought them from, and then I like rotted the roots off of basically everything that they sent me. But this guy did really well. I don't know what I did differently about him, but he has never been sick, never been root rotted, and has now, you know, solidified himself in this pot, so I am happy to just leave him. Over there is one of my holiday cactus. I don't know which, you know, Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or whatever, but that is one with the peach blooms. And it has been doing really well. I thought I was going to lose it for a little while, but it's putting out some new growth, so that's great. I have my Peperomia, it's Obovata, I think, and it's marbled, so I really love the coloring all on that. I've gotten several new leaves on that since I've gotten it. It's potted mostly in a cocoa core mix. I'm not sure how much I like that. I'll probably end up changing it at some point. And then this is an aloe that I got in one of those arrangements where I just, you know, got a whole bunch of stuff. And it seems to be doing okay, but the leaves never feel quite like they're plump. And I keep watering it, but I don't want to water it too much. So I'm hoping once it goes outside, and I can like really thoroughly water it and then have it dry out in a couple of days and then water it again, I might be able to like get some of that fleshiness back on the leaves. And here we have Calathea macoyana. This one hasn't done much, but I only just got it. Let me pull it out and see if there's any new growth down in here. Yeah, it's basically just holding steady. I definitely have not seen any problems with it. It came in, all these brown leaves, or the brown on the leaves were basically already there. And I don't know, I'm trying to water it only with the filtered water from the Brita filter, even though I've heard that these are fairly easy to handle, Calathea. And I'm looking forward to when it's going to be giving me some new leaves, or at least even a new leaf. I mean, I'd take at this point, but so that guy just lives here, and he is really stretching for the sun. So we have my Aloe Christmas Carol. I bought this from a Lowe's as well, and took a couple of babies off of it, and it's not a fast grower, but it's really, really pretty, and it has been growing at all. You can see the new green growth in the center there. And you'll see some of the babies I got off of that later. We've got another aloe that I got just in an arrangement that I picked up. That back there is a type of jade. It is off of the plant that my mother gave me a million years ago, and these things just propagate so easily. If you're looking for an easy plant, like, you don't have to water it hardly ever until the leaves get all shrivelly. And if you want to propagate it, you just pop it off and you just leave it on the counter, and it'll grow roots, and you can stick it in some soil and it will grow. Very, very easy. I have my other peperomia that I got. This one doesn't have any white on the leaves, but it does have like variegation. It's just like a lime green and a darker green variegation, which I found was really interesting as opposed to that one that has the white on it. Back there is the remains of my holiday cactus that I did the series on, the one that was a huge bush and then I nearly killed. It has now officially rooted. Those are all the pieces of it that I was able to save. It's doing good. It's putting out new growth. And I'm looking forward to not killing it this year and hopefully, you know, getting some good growth on it. Here we have my black cardinal. It has just put out this cute new leaf. And I don't know, I thought I expected the leaf to be a little blacker because like I feel like these leaves are blacker than that, but I really like the kind of chocolatey reddish brown color that it is. It's kind of hard to see the color with the light the way it is. I wonder if is that a little bit better for you guys? I just really like that color. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I enjoy it anyway. And that plant's been doing really good. I've got a little arrangement back there with an Echeveria and 2 jades of varying types. The ogre ears and a different one there. I have my aloe pups, which are doing kind of poorly. I watered it, and then it looked like it was root rot, so I didn't water it. And that came off of something. That came off here. It looked like it was root rotting, and so I let it dry out, and now it's like really looking like it wants water. So I'm probably going to water that guy again at some point. I have just some extra. Oh, this guy's actually kind of interesting. So I got these again with another on sale succulent arrangement. And this guy has kind of gone gangbusters. Can you see how long he's gotten down there? Again, once I get into spring a little bit, I mean, this guy's not even rooted and he's doing fine. I just spray him every once in a while. I want to get all these succulents kind of cleaned up and into a nicer arrangement. I have this guy here. There's some sedums back there and another plant and actually some babies that are just, I don't even know if you can see them back there. There's some babies down there where the leaves just kind of fell off and they've been growing. I seem to have better luck with growing succulents when the leaves just fall off like that than when I actually try and grow succulents. And here we've got 2 mother of thousand plants that are doing fairly well. This one, the leaves got stuck together when it was opening, and that's why it's a little damaged there. But we've got some new leaves coming in there, and I just recently pulled the babies off of here because I actually want it to get a little bit bigger, as opposed to having all those babies. And then every once in a while, I have to go in here and make sure that none have fallen and started growing. So this is a little sun stressed. I actually had it under. These grow lights down here are more grow lights. Then these ones are more shop lights, so they're not as good, and so it put this stress on there, and I brought it out of there because I wanted to make sure that it didn't get too stressed. All right, and so that is our second shelf. Beautiful. Okay, and then hopefully the light's still good enough down here. I turned off the grow lights because last time I did the last time I did my plant tour, you couldn't see anything because the pink light was just too weird. It's like, yeah, it like makes everything like you can't even see it. So, yeah, that lighting does look better. I might pull things out of here too so you can kind of see them. So here's my little variegated jade, which has been putting out some new leaves, and I'm very happy about that. He's not doing tons yet, but he's doing good. I have this little container of ghosties, which, again, a leaf fell down in there, and then just I have this perfect little ghostie in there, you know, like, why can't I do that on purpose? This is one of the Aloe Christmas Carol pups. That's the biggest one I have. I have this nice Haworthia back here that, oh, yep, I'm starting to need a little bit of water, but it's still doing great. I have a second Haworthia. Man, seriously guys, I'm just coughing because I'm talking so much. Some different pieces of that jade that I told you about that was up on the other thing. I have this Echeveria that I actually don't know what it is, but I love how it's fuzzy. And it has been growing really, really well, as you can tell, like nice tight cluster. And yep, still doing good with how much water it has. Here are all of my Peperomia graveolens propagations. All 4 of them ended up surviving, and they're all doing really well. I think I was happier with the soil propagation on these ones, though really they've all done fine. And these will probably be up for trade this spring because I don't need this many of them. I have a little mimicry plant, which hasn't really been doing much, but it's kind of cute. I got it for $1, so I didn't really expect much from it. And my beautiful string of dolphins, which has gotten not a ton longer since I've gotten it, but it has grown, you know, a decent amount. So that I'm really happy with. My variegated elephant bush has been doing fairly well since I nearly killed it, and it has come back. It's been getting a lot of nice new growth on it and looking very healthy. And there's even a spot over here, if you look right in there, like those leaves are like all white down in there, so I thought that was kind of cool. I have my Echeveria Lola, which absolutely adores this tiny pot that I got from Planting Memories in the UK. It has definitely rooted in there really, really nice, and I just need to water it a little bit. I'm becoming a fan of these smaller pots, and this guy even doesn't have a drainage hole under there, guys. I know, right? I'm keeping a succulent alive in a pot without a drainage hole. I'm so proud. And it's so cute, too. I think you can kind of see the pink, but if you come out here, you can really see the color on that. I just love that plant so much. It's so awesome. And it looks so cute in that pot. Doesn't it look just adorable? It's just wonderful. I love it. This one I'm going to pull out because it's kind of in the back and it's hard to see. So this is my, I know the name of this, Hoya compacta, which actually has started growing. You can see the new little leaves here, and it's even got like a nice growth point going there. Needs a little bit of water, but we'll take care of that. This guy isn't growing anything new yet, and this guy isn't growing anything new yet, but you know, it's finally starting to grow, so I am super happy about that, and I don't even care if it takes forever. If it never flowers, I will be fine with that, actually. Then here I have one of my baby Prince of Oranges that I pulled off of the mother plant. Been doing pretty good. It just put out this new leaf, and it looks like it's working on another one. Super tiny, but hey, it works. I have my watch chain here, which really, really likes its light. Like, it's so compact up toward the top, whereas down here it's kind of like not as good looking. I have my cactus. I knew the name of this. It's something that starts with an M and is really, really long. But I love that guy. I don't like many cacti, but I just love these spines and the color that they are. I have, oh, this one I have to bring out because this is the Echeveria nodulusa, and I just love the red color on the edges of that. That is just so gorgeous. I've been trying to propagate this guy and haven't had any luck yet. So I'll probably be trying a little bit more once we get into spring, because I'd love to have a couple more of these. And my adorable variegated lipstick plant. Yeah, I finally found out what this was. They get these huge red leaves on them, and it is in my snail planter, which I love. But it's been growing pretty well. Not super fast, but it is variegated, and it is bringing out this other growth point over here, which is kind of nice. But I've had a decent amount of growth since I've gotten it. I'm really happy I picked it up, and it's fairly easy. I almost lost it one time because I didn't water it enough, and since then I haven't had any problems with it, so it's doing really well. All right, so, and that is that shelf there. All right, and then we're moving on. Here we have my aloe, the plant that started all of this craziness for me. Doing pretty well. I have not needed to water it hardly at all since it's been inside, and it's still doing great and putting out new growth. And there's all these silly little pups down here that I have no idea what I'm going to do with, because really, how many aloe pups do you actually need? We'll figure it out. You guys might or might not recognize this as the arrangement that I have in my opening. So it has gotten kind of big. You can see the ghosties have grown toward the window there. I am waiting until spring, and then I'm going to redo this entire arrangement. But I obviously didn't want to do it until spring, so it's just kind of sitting there for now. I have this arrangement that I made. This little guy, this Echeveria, definitely needs more light because he's really stretching out something fierce. And I've got some string of bananas in here, some watch chains, some ogre's ears, and a little bit of sedum down in there. Not a very attractive arrangement, if I do say so myself. But, you know, I'm still learning about that kind of stuff. And I'll be happy to get it outside so that it can start getting more light. And we have my rubber tree, which has put out a couple of new leaves. It's living its good life. It's being kind of happy down in here. I can't wait to get this guy outside because he did really, really well when he was out on my back driveway last year. He put out like most of these new leaves while he was out there. And now I know about not getting him too much sun, which is what happened to those, so it'll be fun. Then, as you know, yep, it's my Begonia Breakdance. Beautiful, beautiful plant, and it had, you guys knew that it had the little flower stalk on here because I showed it to you. It actually has, I'm going to have to change the angle a little bit. It actually has a second flower stalk. There's two plants in there, and now the other flower stalk is coming out of the other plant. So this guy is just super happy and living life, and I am so happy. This is the one leaf that was just starting to grow when I bought it, and it's really, really big now. Let's see if we can do a hand test. Not quite as big as my hand yet, but I mean, it's getting there. These other ones, like that one's like basically the size of my hand, but we're getting there. And I have my Begonia Etna, which is telling me that it wants a little bit more sun, but I have it by the window, so there's only so much I can do. But see, it's getting a little bit leggy. But it's doing really, really well. Happy, happy. I have my second Prince of Orange baby that has put out 2 new leaves recently. And is basically just growing for it. I have my Haworthia tessellata that's sitting over here. It's gotten a little leggy as well. You know, go figure, succulents indoors during the winter, but it's doing pretty well. I have my satin pothos here. It is now finally in soil, and I am seeing if I can, you know, grow it properly without it getting all unhappy. I have my begonia over here with the pink curled leaves. I don't actually know what that one's called, but it has put out several new leaves, and like that, because that one, like if you look at it, looks like a begonia leaf, and then this one over here is far more wrinkled, and I don't know if that's like supposed to happen, or if that's like, it doesn't look like a disease of any kind, it just looks like it's far more textured, so that's just kind of interesting to me. I have my Begonia Peter Piper in here, a little hard to see with the ghosties, so we'll bring them out. Haven't had any new leaves leaves, really. I mean, there's that one growing there. So that's my Begonia Peter Piper. Not growing super fast, but still looking healthy. And you know what? I'm perfectly happy if it stays like that. It is stretching toward the sun a little bit. So we're gonna probably get that a better place in the sun once I've got it outdoors to go to. And here is my $3 begonia. You guys remember this guy? I had to basically cut it back to almost nothing, and now it's coming back in. The leaves are almost full silver. This one here is interesting. It's got a lot more green on it, but a lot of these are just mostly silver. And I'm very happy because this is one of the ones that I managed to kind of save. You know, it's always fun bringing plants back from the brink of death. Yay, we love it. Okay, so here is that. And then here you can obviously see my Sansevieria. It has been putting out some new growth. This is just a completely new Sansevieria plant, and then obviously all the rest of this has been not growing very fast, but any at all. I have my little propagation tray down there. I've been doing very poorly with propagation. I really need to figure out, like I said, the ones that just fall in the pots over here end up doing way better than when I try and propagate, so who knows. These are my little Alsobia propagations, which have been doing fine, but haven't really been doing much. Like, I feel like they basically look the same way that they did when I put them in here. Like, they haven't really been growing very much, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But I also have this aloe. This is my gold tooth aloe, the only one I have left. I'm putting it in water, and I think it's doing very poorly, but I have never managed to make an aloe root. Like, if I cut off what's left of its root thing, stalk, I've never been able to get one to root. I don't know. I might end up losing it. I've got some propagations here. Those are some of the cuttings off of my peach holiday cactus. That I just wanted to see if I could get some propagations. I've gotten some propagations. I have my Haworthia Zebrina. I want to call it that. I don't think that's right, though. So that is the mother plant. And then over here, you can see there are two little babies that I have been growing separately. I have my Begonia Red Kiss, which is absolutely gorgeous, just not in this gray, yucky weather. So, very, very beautiful. I have my cocoon plant that I bought. The one that I had before was dying and has now officially bit the dust. It is now in the trash. But I have this guy to, you know, tide me over, so I didn't lose the plant completely. I mean, I lost the plant completely, but I still have a version of it. I have this cactus. Oh, you know, let's go over here. There's better light. This cactus I got offline, and it doesn't look like it's dying, but it doesn't really look like it's doing much of anything. I have no idea whether it's alive or dead. I'm just watering it every once in a while, and I'm hoping at some point it will tell me that it's still alive. I don't know. I have my orchids down here. My husband accidentally knocked this one off. It was in my bathroom. He knocked it off the ledge, and I need to repot it, but they're all right down here for right now. This one obviously has bloomed, and I love these blooms so much. They're just so beautiful. I love mostly in here with the orange fading to the pink, and then the little speckles on the petals down in there. It's very beautiful. All right, we're almost done. Oh, I have a little Sansevieria growing down in there. Kind of hard to see, but that's the same. It came out of there. I just wanted to pot one separately. I have my Begonia Lucerne, which has been putting out leaves like crazy. Like there and there. There's even one. It's doing pretty good. It's about ready for me to root it. It's even trying to grow one down at the end of its little root, but the roots are doing pretty good. So that one will be getting potted up pretty soon. And then these are some more propagations, some Haworthia Cooperii that I have down here. This is my aloe mosaic that I absolutely love. Hasn't done much growing, but you know, it's doing pretty well. And I just love the color of it. I can't wait to get it out in the sun, and hopefully that will encourage it to grow a little bit more. And my tiny little Dracaena that is finally starting to, let's see if we can, it's finally starting to grow there. It's doing pretty well. Hopefully that will, yeah, I know the pot is probably way too big, but the root system is actually fairly large in there, but we're going to try and make that a little bit better. So that is the overview of these guys. And over here, we have my Mom's Queen of the Night, which is obviously a lot larger than my one that I have. It's been putting out a little bit of new growth, which I'm happy about. And I can't wait to get it outside and let it get some sunlight, because mine did very, very well when it was outside in some sunlight. I have this string of bananas that is getting very, very long. But I'm kind of unhappy with how it looks up here. Like it's very just sparse or whatever. So I really want to get around to propagating some of these and putting them up here and trying to, I mean, I don't know. I also think it might need a bigger pot because it feels like it dries out really, really quickly too. I have my rickrack cactus, which is putting out some nice growth here and there and there. And I kind of want to get him into a bigger pot, and because the soil, like the water just goes right through there, so I don't think I'm watering it well enough. I have, this looks like a succulent arrangement, but is actually not a succulent arrangement. It was a whole bunch of baby propagations that I had that were babies last year and then have grown a lot. So, yeah. I have my Alsobia here, which is the same as the one I said over there, and it's been growing. I mean, it's been growing. It doesn't seem to grow super fast, and obviously I haven't seen any flowers yet. I got this partially because it's soft and fuzzy and it's really kind of cute, but I really wanted to see the flowers on this, so. Then we have my angel trumpet here, my variegated angel trumpet, and as you can see, it is getting ready to put out here and there, and even there, and I think there's one under here too. Yeah, hanging down. See that? And it's getting ready to bloom, which I'm super, super excited about. This one also does really, really well when it's outside, though it's doing fairly well in here as well. Once I put it under this light, it started being a lot happier than it was. So apparently this just needs a lot more light than I thought it did. I have my Bird of Paradise, which is shooting out this new leaf. I am so excited to see this unfurl. There's another little one in there. Down there, you can kind of see it. Right there. Back there. That one isn't growing as fast. I think this one is just super eager to get out. I have my Wandering Dude, which is absolutely humongous at this point. I am so proud of this plant, like super, super proud of this plant. And I can't wait to get it outside. I mean, you can even see the shimmering on these leaves in here because it's just that shimmery, I guess. But that has been doing really, really well, and it's starting to trail a bit. I have my Norfolk Island Pine, which I'm not sure whether I'm doing a good job with this plant or not, because like it seems like it's growing and it's putting out new growth and all this stuff at the top, but I keep getting these where like the little bits of it just kind of die and fall off, and so like it's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, see, I'll just touch it and things will just fall off, and I don't know if that means I'm underwatering it or what, because like I'm drenching it once a week and the soil still seems wet, but then it's still, and it's not just like it'll lose See, it'll lose them up here too, like even on the top part. Like these got dried and fell off, and like over here, there's some here that were there that have dried. I mean, this whole thing here has basically, yeah, they're just. So I don't know if you've got any suggestions about that. It's still in whatever mixture they put it in originally. So if anybody's got a suggestion about like a different mix of soil, I'm assuming water retaining, but that looks like mostly coconut coir down there. I don't know. I'd be interested in some advice on that because I kind of want to keep it alive just because I haven't been able to keep them alive in the past. And I want to prove that I am better now. And yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of see. Alright, and if you guys have been following along, these are my plants that I'm going to be putting outside. I've got my beans, some tomatoes, one cucumber. I have not been able to get any other cucumbers to sprout, which I'm really annoyed about because I want more cucumbers. And then my morning glories, which have already started to vine. Isn't that just the cutest thing? I just love them so much. So there's that little thing down here, and then over here is my alocasia alley, I guess. I have been having some problems with my Regal Shield. I got these two leaves shortly after I got it. This one and this one here. And then, I don't know if you remember, but it flowered. And so here are the flowered bits that I cut off once they started dying. And it put out another leaf, which has basically looked like this since. It's not trying to unfurl. It's not trying to do anything. It looks like it's underdeveloped. And then it put out this leaf here, which didn't get very tall, and it's just about ready to harden. But it looks at least healthy, but I'm like, I don't know whether it's a watering issue. I don't know whether it's a humidity issue. I don't know if it's a light issue. It seemed to be doing pretty good. And otherwise, other than that, it's perfectly healthy, but I'm wondering why. I thought it was a humidity thing when the leaves start coming out smaller, but I've gotten the humidity up in my basement pretty well. And so I was really surprised to see that tiny little leaf down there. You know? I mean, I would be perfectly happy if all of them came out this big. I mean, like, I'm okay with this size. Even, I mean, I'd love to have that size, but I might just not have the conditions for that, right? So I'd be perfectly happy with that, but then I'm just worried that they're getting smaller and smaller, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. So if anybody has any suggestions about that, that would be most happy. That would be most helpful. It would also be happy. And at the same time, I have this alocasia, which I still don't know the name of, but it's put out 2 leaves since I've gotten it. This one, I think, is a little off because it got a little damaged in transit, but this leaf has come out since then, and it's like perfect. So this one is apparently far, far happier. And then I have my purple sword, where it's just been kind of losing leaves, but now it seems to have settled in a little bit, and it's getting ready to put out new leaves on each of these plants, and I'm hoping that those come out all right. I want to be good at allocations, I really do. So any suggestions you guys have on allocations would be, like I said, helpful, because I mean, I keep it around 50, sometimes as high as 60 humidity. I mean, the humidifier is like right here. It's not on right now because it's actually at 55, but yeah, I guess I want to know what I'm doing wrong. And here's my little begonia thing. You can see all my little begonia propagations, which are starting to get pretty big. So happy with that. It's going to be time to transplant some of those soon. And then my other little propagation tray, which is, I don't know, it hasn't really done much yet, but I haven't really had it there yet, very long yet. And I think that is everything down here. We've got a couple more plants to look at upstairs, and we will be done. All right, and I just have a couple plants up here. This is my Aloe Pink Blush, which has been, I don't know whether I'm underwatering it or overwatering it, so I really would like to repot it. And obviously I'm waiting until it goes outside for that. My Hoya Crimson Princess, which I've given up on water propagation. I am now trying moss propagation because it really is just not doing anything. And then all my Haworthia, which are actually doing really, really well in there. If you can see, I've got some new roots on that. And what I basically need at this point, this one's got a new root on it as well. Sorry, the lighting is kind of terrible, but you can see that on there, possibly. Yeah, there it goes. But I want to get some smaller pots for these to go in before I repot them, so that the water, it dries out. And I've been having trouble finding tiny pots to put them in. So I have my guys in here and the ones that have been in here, and they've all been doing fairly well. I've been surprised. It's making me think a little bit more about root rot, because I've got these succulents sitting in this basically always wet sphagnum moss, and I'm not getting any root rot. I took the lid off of here. The humidity here was too much, but because some of these bottom leaves were starting to go, but the plant itself is still healthy. So it's making me think, what really causes root rot? It can't be water, because these guys are not getting root rot from just sitting in water. So I don't know. I'm going to look into that a little bit more, but that has been my plant tour for this year, or I guess for this spring. I'll probably do another one like in the summer. If you like this video, go ahead and like. If you'd like to see some more of my videos and not just, this plant tour, though, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and you'll be able to see more about these plants later on. And thank you very much for spending some time with me today. I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye-bye.